Hey, Neil.
Hi. We're back.
We are so back.
The butts are back, baby.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Dose. It's more than one.
We're back with scripted.
Yeah, Season 2. It's a new season of the Thunderbutts podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're naming this one Scripted.
That's right. You want to tell them?
Last season, what did we do? It was called Canceled.
We called it Canceled.
And we watched a bunch of canceled television
Canceled
shows.
television series. We
Yep.
watched 7 new television. Well, I'd seen
Not
some
new.
of them.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hadn't seen them for a little while.
New to us. That wasn't even true either. For most of them. For this season, we're doing Scripted, in which we read the script of a feature film or the pilot of an episodic series, and then we watch said final product, and we talk about the difference between the two.
Why are we doing this?
We are doing this because we're awesome people. No, I mean, last time when we did Canceled, it's because, we were working on a pilot. And so we were consuming a lot of television, I feel like, or like episodic series. And now we're currently writing screenplays as well. Well, I mean, now we're hunkering down and we're trying to sell a few screenplays as well. So
we are screenwriters.
we are reading a lot of screenplays. So we thought it'd be fun. This is just something that I was doing anyway. It's something that you kind of do when you're writing screenplays is you read screenplays. Just like when you're working on a show, you're watching shows. When you're performing, you're watching a lot of performances. So it just kind of makes sense. And it is really interesting sometimes to read the script to see where something came from. And to just, discuss the whole process.
Well, we're like forcing ourselves to do the thing. Like everyone says when you're writing scripts, the best thing you can do is to read a bunch of scripts.
Yeah.
But that can also be tedious. So
Yeah.
we've devised a entertaining way to make us do this.
Sure.
So we can become better writers out there. What scripts have you liked reading? Let us know. Maybe we'll read them.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe we'll read them.
Yeah.
There's a bunch out there. And, some are way more interesting than others. To start off, though, we decided to read a comedy movie, right? And I chose something that I've seen, like, a lot and is definitely from when I was very young. We're going to start off with, what movie are we starting off with?
Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker's Rush Hour.
That's correct. That is correct. The first Rush Hour.
One.
The very first one. Yeah, so, I mean, let's get into it. I mean, we read the script and we watched the movie. Have you watched the movie a lot? It seemed like you're not very familiar with the movie.
In my life, I've probably seen the movie 3 or 4 times.
How dare you?
I did see it in the theaters when it came out. When I was like,
that's cool.
Because this came out in 97, 98, so that was when I was in junior high.
Right.
Oh, the 90s.
The 90s, the late 90s were a great time for movies.
Yeah, I mean that was also like just on the theater industry front. That was when AMC. You had all those AMC theaters pop up all over the place.
And they're still out there killing the game. Rush Hour came out in 1998.
Oh, 98, yeah.
1998.
Yeah, there was a big AMC that opened up just a couple of miles from where I lived, so that became a pretty predominant junior high hangout, makeout place.
What, the AMC theater?
The theaters, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's kind of tight.
Maybe even...
Were you making out in there?
Most of the time, no.
Oh.
Most of the time, I mean, I
I was
wish,
just wondering. All right.
but no, never got that fortunate.
Well, fun fact about Rush Hour. I don't know if you knew this, but it is one of the reasons why the website Rotten Tomatoes was created. Did you know that?
No,
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, it was the catalyst for the creation of the review aggregation website Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah, the creator, Sen Yoon, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, they're the founder, and they were a huge Jackie Chan fan, and they were working on, like, they were collecting a bunch of reviews from all of Jackie Chan's like Hong Kong flicks, because they were being like they were being released in America, and they were like collecting all the reviews for it, and then they found out that Jackie Chan was about to come out with like an American movie, and like rushed in like 2 weeks, got the website up specifically like in time for Rush Hour.
No shit.
And that's how we got Rotten
nuts.
Tomatoes.
Dude, Jackie, the amount of industry that has revolved around Jackie Chan
For real, though.
is insane.
For real. He's a trailblazer.
Well, he is worth like, I mean, you know, probably. I think
like
he's worth like half a bill.
I was gonna say dollars, but bills. Probably. Yeah, it's probably worth a couple billies. Anyway, yeah, the screenplay. This you haven't read it before this, right?
No, this was I never read the script until we decided to do this, and I started reading it while watching it, and then you were like, "Don't do that. Read it first."
Yeah, because that's fucking weird. Like, what are you doing?
It was a little weird. It actually was a little hard to do.
Yeah, so
too.
you were reading. Okay, yeah, we'll get into like the actual script in a minute, but like you were reading the script, and then you were like pausing and then watching the movie up until like the script and like going back and forth, like an immersive reader does with Kindle.
Yes,
that's fucking weird. That's. I mean,
it was tedious.
I'm sure that can work sometimes, but like
I did it for about 30 minutes.
Okay, so you've seen the movie a couple times. Do you like the movie?
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great. This is a great stereotype of the '90s sort of action buddy cop comedies. You know, or dramedies, right? In a way,
archetype. I think is what she meant to say.
Archetype, stereotype, archetype. But I mean, it's just they had a bunch of things. You know, they just had things in the movie where you're like, this is a 90s movie. You know, where like Chris Tucker shoots the trunk of the car and it blows up and flips over. And you're like, okay.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, also, it was a Jackie Chan movie, so there was just like a ton of practical effects and stuff like that.
And random kung fu.
Yes. Awesome. Sick. They don't make movies like this anymore. But, so for me, I watched the second one in theaters. And it's funny because my brother took forever to get me to the theater for the second one, and like we missed the opening scene. So I watched the second one all the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the part where I walked into the theater and I was confused. But anyway, I've seen the original Rush Hour many times. It is one of my comfort movies. In fact, I have a really good friend of mine, and like we meet up for like lunch or like hang out or whatever. And there's this weird thing between us that we've noticed that like every single time we hang out, for some reason, the movie Rush Hour comes up organically in conversation. It's gotten so weird.
It's just like how the Shawshank Redemption is always on TNT.
Yes, like ridiculousness is always on MTV. It's kind of like how Americans thought about Abraham Lincoln every single day for like that span of 10 years, if you remember that fact. I feel like we don't think about Lincoln anymore.
I probably think about him once a month.
Yeah. It used to be every day. You said you'd never forget. It's to the point where like every time we hang out, like one of us makes it a point to bring up Rush Hour just to keep the streak going. We both love the movie, but he is very insistent that like it didn't age well. Where you know I can like push back on a few things, but you know it was 1998, and we can get into that later. But the script itself, I gotta say, I started reading this. And look, I'll just say it up front. It's vastly different from the movie. So it is nothing like the movie. Like, bro, there is barely anything. Okay, so clearly, someone set to write out this movie, and like by the time it got sold, it became like something very fucking different, right? And I read a little bit about like the journey that this like script went on, but like. And also, here's the thing about scripts is depending on the movie, there's a lot of different like versions of scripts that are out there. Very rarely do you find like an early draft. And a lot of times studios will, you know, for like highly anticipated movies, they'll put out like fake drafts of scripts too, stuff like that. And then there's also like a final draft, which means like this is the final draft that left the writer's room. And then like that draft even changes while they're on set, you know, things like that. So like, you're barely ever going to get a script that's like word for word unless, you know, it's like a Coen Brothers film.
I wasn't expecting word for word, but if you slapped a different title on this script, you would have thought it was a different script.
I literally like paused to be like, because I'm like, okay, when am I gonna get to like anything that even resembles this fucking film? Like to the point, and like it never happened. It was like page 10, it still wasn't happening. So like I paused and I Googled like to make sure that I was reading the right script. Like, is this, you know, like the Counselor Han and Colonel Lee, which is Jackie Chan's character is named Colonel Lee. Mm-hmm. I think he's Detective Lee.
Detective Lee,
and I think he is Counselor Han in Rush Hour, but like those are the only two characters that even have the same name. Chris Tucker's character is not Detective James Carter. His name's like Carson. So it's just very different. And like I even looked it up, and like still like it was just like, yeah, the original script was like this. Like an AI was like, yeah, the original script had Detective James Carter. And I'm like, no, the fuck it didn't, AI. You're like, I had to like go deep to like find out like, yeah, no, that is the original script. It's just very fucking different. Like,
so I did a little looking into, just because you have to remember this is almost 30 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Chris Tucker, one of the main characters in it, who's also a comedian as well. And then Jackie Chan, who, while this was his American film debut, he had done a bunch. Or like,
he was a star.
Yeah, like he's a
big
huge Chinese film star.
Huge in Hong Kong and stuff,
he had been in other Hollywood stuff, but this was kind of like his, you know, lead, like Hollywood lead, I suppose would be the way to put California lead would be the way to put that.
Yeah.
So the reason, how this all connects is given the two actors' backgrounds, they had the skeleton, they had the script, right? And then when they're filming this thing, and mind you, filming these things took longer, you know, to film that, you know, 3 decades ago as well, just because of technology and everything. So there was a lot more, like you had like there was more opportunity to change stuff like while you're filming the movie.
I mean, we're talking about structural differences though. Like I get that I am like fucking Wedding Crashers, or like a movie that's like heavily improvised, like Wedding Crashers. This isn't even like, oh yeah, they changed this scene in the moment. Like they're like for instance, it's not because the movie Rush Hour takes place right after British rule ended in Hong Kong, and it takes place at like the Chinese consulate. And in the script, they're all North Koreans.
Yeah,
they're all North Korean, and it takes place during like a summit in which a lot of there's like Japan, China,
like the G6
Korea,
summit or G12.
Yeah, it was
summit,
some sort of summit taking place in LA in which a lot of different countries were coming to a table.
Yeah, it was like the G20 summit or some stuff like that.
They were all coming to the table for some sort of treaty, and this was causing a rush hour. So Rush Hour, the fact that there was like traffic in LA was definitely like central to this original script, to the point where like I'm reading it, I'm like, man, if I was from LA, this would be a lot more entertaining, because they're like, and then they go down this boulevard and they turn right. You know where that Wendy's is on the corner? Like it's very specific to like LA streets and the highways and stuff like that. A big chunk of this script takes place
in rush hour.
In rush hour, like traffic.
And then when you watch the movie, there is none of that.
When you watch the movie, so yeah, they kept Rush Hour as the title, and they tied it in when he was like, when he kidnaps the little
Sue
girl.
Young.
When he kidnaps Sue Young, and then he was like, what's the problem? Oh, it's just Rush Hour. You know, like, and that's why the whole franchise is called Rush Hour, essentially, right? And the bad guy is like this crazy terrorist.
Juntao.
Well, it's not Juntao in the script.
No, it's not.
It's not Juntao. It's not Juntao.
No, it's not. I'm like, who the hell is this?
Okay, so I did hear this, and I don't know if this is true, but I did read that one of the reasons Jackie Chan signed on and was excited for this is because it allowed him to play in an American film, and he could speak broken English,
Yes.
and it was still okay, right?
Yeah.
So, like, because that's kind of like the difficulty, at least back then, of like breaking into like a Hollywood market is, you know, his delivery of the lines.
Yeah, his English at the time was not bad. It was
No, it wasn't,
it was
yeah.
okay, but he
spoke English, right?
Yeah, but he still was having like lessons.
So
you know,
that's
and stuff.
yeah, he was still and that is why my buddy. That's one of the reasons my buddy thinks that this movie was racist is because for some reason he thinks that Jackie Chan barely spoke English and that he didn't really know any of the lines that he was saying.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and that's not true.
No,
but
that's not true.
And there are people who think that, but that is taken from context in which Jackie Chan was in an interview. I don't know how long ago, but it was like not that long ago, in which he was talking about how Chris Tucker improvised a lot of his lines, and because he speaks so fast, he couldn't really understand anything he was saying.
Yeah.
And like it got to a point where Chris Tucker was like, "Hey, does like Jackie speak English? Because he like never talks to me." And Jackie had to be like, "No, I don't know what you're saying."
Yeah.
Like, he's like, "You just like," because every time, like even like you know in between takes, like Chris would talk to him, and you'd be like, he just wouldn't respond.
That story is literally where that one scene, that like famous scene, came from.
Yeah.
Do you understand the words?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, the script, I'll say like I finished the first page of the script and I wrote no jokes because when you're reading a comedy script, as what they tell you when you're starting out, when you're a nobody, you can't write a comedy script and there's no jokes on the first page. Like that's you know
huge no.
Like if you're writing a horror movie, there's got to be something scary on the first page. If a romance, something romantic has to be on the first. Like that's like a thing that new writers are told. You know, no name writers are told. So I just like made a note that there's no jokes on the first page. But guess what? There's like 180 pages and there's no jokes at all. This is not a comedy. This is not a comedy.
No.
It's also not a buddy cop flick either.
Not at all.
Lee and Carson, which is later Detective James Carter, Lee and Carson are not friends. In fact,
spoiler. Well, script reading spoiler right here.
strictly okay. Yeah, let's talk about those two characters. Yeah, so Detective.
From the movie, you have Jackie Chan, who is Detective Lee. He's a Hong Kong like police officer,
a badass police
officer. Then you have Chris Tucker's character, Detective James Carter, who is, you know, the rebel kind of bad boy.
LAPD. He doesn't like to work with partners.
Yeah, doesn't like to work with partners.
And you know he gets So in the script, Detective Carson, I believe is what he's called. He is FBI already, and he has a wife, and his wife. We'll get into the wife in a bit, but like his whole thing is that like he hates living in LA because people keep breaking into his car. He's trying to sell his house because it's so fucking dangerous. But he's stuck in he's in the FBI, and something happened in his past, like where like something blew up on like he was on some sort of mission, something bad happened, and he's kind of blamed for it, and he's like. You know, he's like sad about it sometimes, you know, like the whole, like I shot a kid, like thing, like from Die Hard, you know, that sort of thing. But he is competent and he's a full blown FBI agent, like who can pull rank on people, you know, and sometimes people give him some sort of shit.
Guff.
And some guff. Yeah.
He gets a little guff.
All right. And then there's Detective Lee, who is, I don't think he's Detective Lee. He's called something Commander Lee. Colonel Lee. Yeah. So there's Colonel Lee. First off, it's not the Chinese consulate; it's the North Korean consulate in LA. And there is Counselor Han, who's this, you know, pretty much the same character. And Colonel Lee is already working at the consulate, the North Korean consulate. He doesn't have to get flown in for this situation or anything like that. He's already there, and they're kind of just forced, like. Chris Tucker's character will be like, all right, I'm going to go drop the ransom. And, you know, Lee jumps in the car. He's like, what you doing? And he's like, no, I'm coming with you. Like, in like that sort of thing. They're not like forced to work together. They just kind of do. And Yeah, and then like later on, like through the hostage thing, which first off, it's not just like his daughter that gets kidnapped; it's his daughter, his son, his wife, and the neighbor kid all get kidnapped instead of one child getting kidnapped. And then later on, they have to call in an expert negotiator, and the expert negotiator shows up, and it's Detective Carson's wife. Turns out she's so really the whole thing is like the buddy cop thing is really him and his wife. It's so fucking different.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I can see how that role, how it morphed into, because there's that like sexual tension between Carter and then the female officer that is in like the movie, which by the way, rest in peace, she dead now.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. But side note, a lot of the actors in this movie are dead now.
Yeah, it's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, so I will say Counselor Han and Juntao pop up and stuff all the time, and I'm always like Juntao.
Yeah, yeah, he's been in stuff all the time.
Yeah,
well,
he's
this
in
was
an
one
HBO
of the
series right
This was
now.
one of the also fun fact, that was Sean Penn's brother.
Oh,
who
yeah.
was the gun, the arms, the explosives dealer in the beginning. And
I forget his name. What's his name?
Can't remember his first name. But
last name's Penn.
Yeah, last name's
Chris
Penn.
Penn.
Chris Penn.
Yeah, from Reservoir Dogs.
He was from Reservoir Dogs,
Yeah.
but he's in a lot of stuff, and unfortunately, he passed away not that much longer after that movie.
Oh, what? Chris Penn died?
So just a couple of years later.
I had no idea. That's why he hasn't been in any Tarantino movies.
Yeah, and like Sean Penn was famously quoted as saying, like, "My brother died because he was fat." It was just like, oh yeah, the bunch of drugs also in his system had nothing to do with that.
Okay, anyway, that's sad.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
pretty
move on
sad.
from that. Yeah, so Chris, Detective James Carter in the movie did have a partner. He just never utilized her, and there was like a little bit of sexual tension. I think mostly because like he clearly wanted to like. His character clearly wanted to fuck her character, and she was just like, "I'm a badass cop, and you never utilize me, and fuck you, and also I'm the bomb expert."
I'm a bomb squad lady.
Yes. Yeah, but so her character is not there at all. But she did in the script. He has a wife, and like they work together, and like they, their relationship strengthens. It wasn't even really rocky. They just kind of. His character just wasn't happy about his life, and then he just learned to be happy about his life, which ended in a sappy moment with his wife thing. The thing about here's the thing. Detective Lee or Colonel Lee in the script. That's the thing. This was not a buddy cop movie, and Colonel Lee, like they're like constantly at odds, sort of thing. And there's a moment where like. They're like chasing the bad guy, and Colonel Lee like pops a shot off like erroneously, and it kind of fucks up the whole shit. And then like later on, they trace the fucking terrorist guy's like phone logs, and one of the phone numbers was Colonel Lee's like desk number.
Yeah,
and that's when you find put your hands, and that's when you find out Colonel Lee is the
bad guy.
He's the bad guy
in the script.
So in the movie. You got the Juntao character, and like then at the end, there's this reveal that he had a partner who was close to Consul Han, and the same sort of thing happens, except it's Commander Lee. Like so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, when we first decided to kind of do this approach for the pod for this season, and you were like, hey, we should do Rush Hour first, I was like, that's a good idea, because I was really looking forward to reading, because I remember before I had watched the movie, there were these scenes in the movie that I kind of always remembered, right? There were like two in particular. One was, the scene where they're like waiting in the car and the song War comes on and they're singing and then they're doing Kung Fu. I really wanted to see how that scene was like written. Or how that was laid out.
I was really excited. So one of my favorite moments, and throughout like most of my favorite films, is, because Soo Young like isn't doesn't seem happy to be coming to America, or at least isn't happy because Lee isn't coming with, sort of thing. And then like one of the first times you see her, she's in the back seat of that car and she's singing Mariah Carey. And it's such a great scene.
Yeah.
And I was kind of excited to see how that was scripted. That's not in there.
Not
at
in
all.
there. Not
all.
in there.
All of your favorite moments. Another funny thing I noticed.
That's why watching the movie while reading the script is
terrible
a terrible
idea. Don't ever touch a black man's radio.
Not in there.
He wasn't black in the script.
He was. I forgot about
the
that.
whole time. I'm like, okay, this could be. I'm picturing Chris Tucker because that's who ended up playing him. But like towards the very end of the script, like. He's FBI and he catches like a fucking black and white and he was like, hey, tell them that I'm coming up here and I need a fucking thing, like as an FBI agent, he tells like a cop and like the cop gets on the radio and he's like, all right, we have 2 people coming down, one Anglo and one like Korean or something. I'm like, okay, so they literally just described him as a white man.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, don't ever touch a black man's radio.
I think they said Caucasian.
No, I thought they said Anglo.
Or Anglo?
Yeah,
okay.
I scribbled it. But don't ever touch a black man's radio.
Not
in the
there.
script. But like the funny part about that scene is he turned on the radio and played a Beach Boys song, and then he switched it to Jay-Z and dance. He's like, "Can you do that to the Beach Boys? Hell no!" Like great scene, not in the script, but Beach Boys comes up in this script like 5 times. Like they randomly, it'll just say, "And Beach Boys plays at a radio."
Plays.
It's like.
You can hear Beach Boy. You can hear Good Vibrations playing in the distance.
For some reason, Beach Boys was just in the like just littered all over this script, and like that's how it stayed into the film. Is can you do that to the Beach Boys? Can you do that to the Beach Boys? So like that was weird. But the other thing is that the bad guy is like a fucking crazy person terrorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many.
I mean, I guess he kind of states because he was still a pretty bad dude in the movie. So
he wasn't, dude.
He wasn't anywhere near like the sadistic.
Look, I like when they kidnapped the daughter. Clearly, there was there's like a Juntao gang, right? In the movie. It's like this crime syndicate that like in the cold open of the movie, you see Jackie Chan's character like have a brush up with the Juntao gang and like he thwarts them or whatever like that. And that's kind of the whole thing is the Juntao gang is now in America and they're causing some disturbances with like Chinese artifacts. In the movie, what happened is it's literally North Korean spies that are trying to start war with America.
They're literally trying to start a war, a global war.
Yeah, and they're sending a missile to LA that will release the bubonic plague
during
rush hour.
Exactly.
And they need to get back the kidnapped kids, the wife and kids, as well as the neighbor daughter, because somehow
she's involved.
She got caught up in the mix.
Yeah. Or she's like Soo Young's friend, or
she's the next door neighbor. Like they explained it. There's like the next door neighbor, and like his car wouldn't start, and they were like, "Hey, can we take her to school?" And that's kind of how it happens. And that's like pretty much the plot is like if we kidnap like by 5 o'clock they'll explode if we don't find out where the kidnapper took them, and if we don't get them, North Korea is going to send a missile that will release the bubonic plague over LA. And preemptively they have sent the missile and they have some sort of thing that can make the missile explode before it hits LA as long as they get these kidnap victims out in time. Super weird and convoluted. And that's like the overarching plot of the original Rush Hour.
I was honestly surprised they just didn't throw in a sex scene in there.
To be honest, dude, it was such a... I'm not gonna lie, it was a hard fucking read for me.
Well, the read is tough because you have the context of knowing the entire time you're reading, like this is nothing about the movie.
It's not like it's like an action genre. I love how they blended comedy with it, and that's why it's one of my favorite movies. But like I wouldn't have been interested in this at all.
Well, you think like, okay, so we should probably take a break.
Yeah, let's take a quick
let's take a break before I make this point.
Hey, you squeeze that, hold it for later.
Hanger. Neil's about to make a point.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know what I just did there. Yeah. I did it again. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back soonish. Peace.
We'll be back.
Yep. Yeah. And we're talking about Rush Hour.
We were talking about Rush Hour and the idea and the fact that the script is nothing like the movie.
Nothing like the movie at all. Clearly, they got some, good writers in there and punched it the fizzuck up.
Yeah. How many people out there actually knew that, by the way? Because I surely didn't.
I didn't.
Are there any Rush Hour? I mean, you obviously are a big Rush Hour fan.
Pretty
Rush
big
Hour
fan.
franchise fan.
Pretty big fan of the franchise. I even like the one that sucked.
Did anybody know that the script was so vastly different from the actual movie?
From what I read, they were trying to get Jackie Chan attached to it, and he, for reasons we said before, like he's trying to break out in Hollywood and Western markets, and like this was a good way for him to still speak what is considered broken English, things like that. And then they were trying to, at some point, it got punched up into a buddy cop flip, and it had to have been like a comedy buddy cop, because like the script is not comedy.
There are no jokes in the script.
It is not buddy cop, and it is an action movie about crazy shit that's going on in LA traffic.
Well, the point that I was about
and North Koreans.
Yeah, the point that I was about to make before we took a break was, if they actually made this script into a movie, would you watch it? Because for me, I would say this turns into some like B terrible like Steven Seagal type movie.
It was that bad. Like I said, when they kidnapped the girl, it was literally like they had like someone pretending to be a cop like reroute them down a side street, and like in the script it was like a super heavily armored Mercedes.
Yeah.
And like and the bad guy like went through the floor, like was following with his van, went through the floorboards, slid underneath the thing, attached a device, went back, and then like used remote controls to like divert traffic by blowing up things. Like it was snakes on a plane, dude. It was.
Well, I understood the whole concept. So there's a reason why like North Koreans are used as bad guys a lot, and it's not just because we have stilted relations with the regime.
Yeah,
it's because you want to still capture. You don't want to make the Chinese folks out to always be the bad guys, so you can capture a Chinese market.
Right. I mean, it's like how there was a time when like the bad guys were always Nazis or
Russians,
like, and they were
or
Russians,
Soviets.
Yeah, Soviets, things like that. And this was like. The script took place like a year after things had settled between North Korea and America, like North Korea and most of the world sort of thing. Like it was
China.
No, North Korea. Because they said that in the script, like that, like last year shit was crazy, but this year they were like coming to like a summit for like some sort of.
Right. Oh, in the confines of this, not in real life, in the script.
I don't know.
No, in real.
Going on with North Korea in the 90s.
In real life, we still have some issues.
Yeah, but
with them.
I'm talking about 1998, right? But I will say they definitely made it into a comedy, into a buddy script, like early on, like when they attached Jackie Chan, because. Martin Lawrence, Wesley Snipes, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, and Tupac Shakur were all considered for the role of Detective James Carter.
Yep.
Eddie admitted in a 2025 interview that he regrets passing up on it. And Chan originally favored Martin Lawrence, but they didn't offer him enough money. So
Martin. I
don't know if that's what I don't know how true any of that is, but they didn't offer Martin enough. And Chris Tucker was just being scooped up by Hollywood. He was killing it in Def Comedy Jam. Ice Cube made him a star. He was ready to take on the fucking world.
Eddie Murphy didn't want to do a lot of this stuff.
He had already done his cop shit.
He had already done Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, he had already done his funny cop guy thing too, right? Like, so, yeah.
You can't, like...
I don't know how much you could regret that. You're still fucking Eddie Murphy, dog.
Yeah.
Like, you killed it. You're still the great. You're still the great Eddie Murphy.
You missed out on, being in a couple of more movies and probably, some more paydays, but let's be honest, you're Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
You're good.
But, like... Sorry, I was just thinking about the terrorist attacks because there's multiple terrorist things going on. But yeah, it was that was the whole thing is like the bad guys in the script. The whole thing was like you find out that Colonel Lee was a double agent because he was trying to provoke the missile, like he was trying to justify the missile hitting LA to like provoke America to respond. And it was like a government thing, but like I like how they changed it in the final movie to where it's like, no, this is like confined to like a group of like a criminal organization like that spans from China to now LA, or maybe they've always been there. And it's sort of just like some, wrongdoers that they must stop, and the kidnapping is still kind of wrapped up in it, and there are explosives, but it's not like World War III is going to happen.
No.
Or like the bubonic plague will be released over Los Angeles.
There is no mention of World War III or the bubonic plague in the movie at all.
At all. The FBI is involved right from the get-go, but like in the script, like there's the CIA, FBI, NSA. Like there's even scenes inside of like the North Korean like war room and stuff like that. Like there's like a American spy in the North Korean war room like sending encrypted signals on a fucking BlackBerry.
It seemed like this. They also just looked at the script and they'd be like, "This is way too expensive to make."
That's another thing.
Like I think the script would have been, if they actually would have made that, opposed to what they actually made. That script is triple.
Dude, they were blowing up like very important.
A lot of things blew up.
Yeah, but like important like sculptures and like monuments in LA like were blowing up.
Yeah.
Like it was like this. It was literally scripted. I forget some of them, but it was literally scripted. Like like this like really expensive street is abandoned or something. Like it was just the type of stuff that you don't write in the script unless you know you have like hundreds of millions of dollars to blow these days.
Yeah.
So.
Look, I think one of the funnier aspects of kind of doing
Tupac would have been dope in the movie.
Tupac probably would have been pretty entertaining in the movie. Although I mean, Chris Tucker's performance is just supreme.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
he's hilarious, and he has a unique, like, just his whole delivery and lines, and like his tone of voice is so unique.
Yeah, I mean, it's an iconic duo.
Yeah, and
it was a great move by like pairing up like Jackie Chan with a comedian, and I mean they did it a lot more after that. Right?
Yeah, well, what's great about a good '90s movie like this is when you get to the end of the movie, you get outtakes. You get bloopers.
So that's another legendary part of the Rush Hour movies is there's outtakes during the credits.
Well, there's always in all of so I was a big fan of Jackie Chan's like Chinese movies.
Okay.
Like
name three.
So there was NC-12. That was a wild one. That one came out a little later.
Okay.
It's like
one is enough.
Something Citizen 12. Super Cop was gnarly.
Hell yeah. I've seen that one.
I think that's probably one of my favorite ones.
Don't say Super Cop 2.
No, not Super Cop 2. Then, I guess none. I liked Shanghai Nights, which came out later. That was with him and Owen Wilson. I saw that in the theaters. That was really funny.
Yes.
Especially when they do that drunken drinking game and they're in the hot tub and stuff.
Well,
or the bath.
Yeah. The wild part about that movie is that Jackie Chan's character is named Shang Wang, like John Wayne.
Yeah.
They really just, right there, right on the nose. But Lucy Liu, though.
In all of Jackie Chan's like Chinese, flicks in that theater, at the end they show all the outtakes. A lot of it's stunt work outtakes.
Yeah, a lot of it is.
Because he does his own
or just
stunts.
like improv moments.
And
there's the one where Chris Tucker's dad calls him.
In one of the outtakes?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I missed that one. Or I can't remember.
I think it's the last one.
Oh, okay.
In
Maybe
the
I
first
just
movie.
Missed that one.
Yeah, his dad calls him.
Oh.
He's like, what are you doing? Jackie Chan even grabs the phone. He's like, you're wasting film. It's classic. It's classic.
Well, I just like the outtake where they're like, where Chris Tucker messes up on speaking Chinese to the flight attendant. He's just like, he's just like, you can't even say 3 words in Chinese.
Yes. And I watched it as a kid. I never thought like, oh, Jackie Chan can't speak English well. I just assumed he spoke English, and I thought he was just like playing a character. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of his movies, that did come out in China, there was generally like a British element or like an American element, at part of it, or maybe they they probably didn't film it in America or in the United Kingdom, but there were American or British actors in there, so it's not that like he was in his early 40s when he shot, same with Chris Tucker too. They were in their early 40s. They just look younger too on
They were in their early 40s
when they shot Rush Hour.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
What?
They were.
Hold on.
'Cause they're in their 70s now, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
No, I think Jackie Chan was probably like 42 or 41 when when they were doing Rush Hour. So like he's pretty well. My point is that like he was pretty well versed in English, as well. So it wasn't like he was speaking poor English.
Jackie Chan was 44 when the first Rush Hour movie was released in September 1998. Yeah, that dude spoke English.
Mind blown.
I didn't think he didn't speak English. That was my point.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I didn't know he was that old.
Older.
Yeah, I didn't know he was. I thought he was like.
Well, they both look 10 years younger.
Well, because that was like, I would say, I don't know about breakout role, but like that was like his first big thing after Friday, which was his like big role.
Yeah, for sure. And he was younger, and he was probably a couple of years.
I thought that was
younger?
his first thing since Friday, but if he was fucking in his 40s for.
Because didn't
Rush
Friday
Hour.
come out in like 92 or
Maybe
it was early 90s
Hold
or
on,
whatever?
let me check.
We could give that a goog.
But let's see, Friday release. Another thing I was gonna say though is that like the buddy cop thing, like it's like obviously that came later, but like it's the comedic part of the buddy cops, like the scene where he's running after the bad guy and like the bad guy pulls the ladder up, so Jackie Chan like vaults off of a wall and gets up and climbs the ladder, and then Chris Tucker comes running. He's like, Lee, like put the ladder, and he puts the ladder down, and Jackie Chan goes to jump and he still can't reach it. Like that's like in the second one where they're like dangling and that semi comes by and like Jackie's doing that stunt where he's running along the semi and then cut to the other side and Chris Tucker's just like bouncing off of it, like that is how you do
a buddy cop.
That is buddy cop, right? Like Friday came out in 1995.
Oh, 95, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there was like there wasn't even like room for that sort of stuff in the script. There was, there was a few like cop quips, but nothing that was like, that was a joke, right? No jokes, no jokes, no buddies even.
No,
there was just cops.
The script was just a gritty, shitty, all over the place B action movie.
To the point where I don't know how that movie got fucking made. Like, I really don't. I don't know how that movie got made.
Honestly, I've never read a Fast and the Furious script.
I would love to read it. Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Maybe we'll do one of those.
The first one I feel like the first one would probably be super grounded.
Probably the first one and second one is probably under control.
The first one, they just redid Point Break or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Point Break, though, Keanu and Gary Busey.
Gary Busey's in it, and gosh, rest in peace. What's his name? Oh my gosh. Oh,
tell us who's in Point Break, Neil.
He was in Roadhouse too, as well.
What?
Why am I blanking on this?
Yeah, who's the guy from Roadhouse?
On this amazing actor.
Yes, what's his name? I thought you'd be
taller. He
died
too soon. He was in Ghost with Demi Moore as well.
Who was in Ghost with Demi Moore, Neil?
I'm having some trouble right now.
Tell us.
It's the first episode of the second season.
Do not move on. Tell us who was in Ghost.
I can't think of his name. He died from cancer.
What else did he do?
He did many things. So many things. He's a super.
Wasn't he in a Tarantino movie?
A Tarantino? I don't think so.
He wasn't.
Okay. No, I don't think so. Why am I? Please just say it. It's hurting me. It's hurting my head.
Can you tell me one more movie? Wait, was somebody like trying to put him in the corner, or is that some other movie I'm thinking of?
put him in the corner.
Yeah, like nobody puts baby in the corner. Is that someone else?
That's somebody else, I think.
Who's that?
I don't know, but that's not.
It's
who
not
I'm
Patrick
thinking of.
Swayze.
Ah, God damn it! Oh, Luke just gained a whole lot of followers, and I just lost a whole lot of followers
Because you couldn't remember Patrick Swayze.
I couldn't even think of the Sways, man.
Nobody,
the ghost of Sways.
Who puts baby in the corner? Nobody.
Not Swayze.
Who was in Dirty Dancing?
Swayze.
That's what the
that's what that's
quote is
from?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe he wasn't baby though.
I haven't been regularly watching Dirty Dancing.
No, me neither. Anyways,
Rush
Hour.
Hour
2 was a banger. Rush Hour 3 was whatever. But the first movie, I still don't know how the fuck it was made. But I'm glad, like, whoever came down from wherever they came down from to bless this script into what it became, like, fucking kudos.
Yeah, whoever actually did do the tune-ups and stuff on this script, I don't know. I hope you see this. You did a great job.
Were you confused when you were reading the script?
Yes.
I was very confused.
Well, because I told you I was watching it for, about 30 minutes or so, and I was, like, following on the script, and I was like, and I was stopping it, and then I was thinking, like, because, you can find...
I don't know why you were doing that.
We just found the script online for free.
Free 99.
And I was like, man, did I get like a bad script or something?
Yeah.
So
I
fortunately,
too,
like
maybe.
we talked that day, and I was like, yo, are you noticing that this script is nothing? And you were like, yeah.
Hella different.
It's not. And then I told you what I was doing, and you were like, you need to not do that.
Yeah. I would suggest not doing that for any of these, but like... I don't know. So when I started reading scripts, I was reading a bunch of scripts that I was like intimately familiar, like from stuff that I was intimately familiar with. So, like I watched like the pilot to Friends, or I read the pilot to Friends and stuff like that. And, so when I'm reading it, like, and I'm like reading a punchline, I'm like, that's not the joke that's in the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm like, well, yeah, like, and almost every time, I'll be like, man, the final joke is way better than this one,
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of times, like, for instance, like, and I read a lot of pilots too, but there's a lot of times where I'm like, the final joke is way better, but this joke is really good.
Yeah.
So where I'm like, damn, like, I have jokes that I'm like, I know this is good. Like, so you can always punch something up.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of now that we have some filmmaking experience too now, what?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think maybe they did this more back then on these bigger movies, or they probably still do it, but, they're doing a lot of takes.
Yeah.
Right? And they can be like, let's try this line again, or let me do a different line. And I think, you got two guys in Rush Hour who are both very good at improvisation as well.
Yeah.
For
sure.
I mean, like Jackie Chan, even though he's not like a stand-up comic or anything, I mean, he improvises so much of his stuff.
Sure.
He's a very capable person, and Tucker is just outstanding.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm sure they, I'm sure even I'd be curious. I bet you the final script of this was probably even different from how it even turned out.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. Well, and the thing is, there's a lot of productions that are just kind of primed for things being improv. That could have been the case for Rush Hour. I know for specifically like the Friends, because I read Friends like forever ago, but like that is a multicam show, and like the nature of filming a multicam show is like you try out different things because you have an audience right there,
right?
And like you'll literally hear them laugh louder, and you're like, all right, that's the one that we're gonna use, that sort of thing. So. And like we talked about Wedding Crashers, how they just left room for all those comics just to do whatever the fuck they wanted in that film. And, it was for the better. So, I mean, who knows? I don't really know for a fact if that's what happened when they filmed Rush Hour, but I do know that the difference between the script and the movie is fucking insane.
It's a different movie.
It's literally
it's an entirely different movie.
It is an entirely, it's like barely even reminiscent of the film, that's surprising. And like, I didn't think our first episode would be like so different. You know?
No, I did. I had no idea.
Yeah, because a lot of scripts I'll read, it'll be like, yeah, like they changed it, and I can tell why they changed it, or I could like this character is barely in the movie, and I understand why, or like I can understand a few reasons why it happened, that sort of thing, or like they changed the ending, or small stuff, like nothing huge to where, or like a lot of times they'll be like, this thing got a facelift, sort of thing, but this is not the case at all. Like they stripped this way the fuck down and just built it all over again.
Yeah, I mean, look, they did a good job.
They did a great job.
They did a great job.
It's a great movie.
I think Rotten Tomatoes gave it, like a 70 something, right?
Rotten Tomatoes was created for this movie.
Which was created. Yeah, which
it was created for this
movie.
movie.
They should say that on their Rotten Tomatoes page.
Let me say it again. Rotten created. I said that already.
Rotten
Tomatoes was created in anticipation of this film. That's wild.
They should give this film a perfect score.
Yeah.
They should give it a tomato score.
Yeah. Well, it's that's in the hands of the people. That's why that site became so successful. Isn't the tomato the people?
No, the tomato's the critic score.
Oh,
there's the tomato score and then the audience score.
The popcorn meter.
The popcorn meter is the audience
the people?
score. That's the people.
Oh, because we eat the popcorn. And the critics throw the tomatoes.
The critics throw the tomatoes.
Yikes.
Yeah, they're the ones that
it's a real upstairs downstairs situation.
Things. Yeah,
they poo things.
A lot of times, yeah. I'm surprised this. I don't know. I think given, can you say, did this movie age well? Did it not? I think it's fine. I mean, there's some suspect stuff in there for sure where I'm like, ooh, maybe that wouldn't have flown on a set nowadays.
Yeah, I mean,
but
as far as like the content of the film, like there are some, like they toe the line with a lot of the stuff. I mean, and there is clearly like racial comedy going on.
Absolutely.
Which is problematic, right? To say that it didn't age, I don't know. The term age well, I'm kind of weird about that term because I'm like, like people had problems with racism in 1998. Like it's not like we were okay with racism back then. You know what I mean? Like just because like we have.
What do you mean by we? No, I get what you're saying though with the phrase age well.
Just because we have less of a tolerance for things doesn't mean that like it was shit like that was just okay back then. You know what I mean? In fact, the 90s were a pretty progressive time.
It was.
It's the early 2000s. And we kind of took a dip and then came back. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about how people feel about certain things, but I'm just saying that like. To say something didn't age well, sometimes you gotta take it with a grain of salt. As far as Rush Hour, I understand how some people, how it feels different in today's sensibilities, but it's not like all the way through.
It's not a bad movie.
Yeah, and it's not like there are moments where it's just like, whoa, like what the fuck? Like I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot of what the fuck moments in Rush Hour,
well, look,
but there are some moments where you're kind of like.
Look,
I will say that.
Last season, we were watching series that were, canceled, and some of them were older.
Yeah.
And there were plenty of shows that we watched that were, 10, 15, 20 years old, where they had moments in it where I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
like even in happy endings, right? Which... I think that series ended, just like a decade ago or whatever. But and that was on network TV, and there were some episodes in there where I was like, I don't think this would fly at all.
Sure.
No.
Yeah. So as far as like certain things not flying today in Rush Hour, I think that I think if Rush Hour didn't exist and they made it today, not if they remade it, but if it never existed before and they made it today, I think there would have been less like racial humor.
Probably.
The whole like Jackie Chan's character, or not Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker's character discovering Chinese food and then like. Like the whole, like, we don't serve soul food here, only Chinese food, that sort of, like, maybe that would have stayed in, like, a little more toned down, but, like, the whole, like...
probably would have stayed in.
Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Might not have made it, like...
Well, then when the food truck guy's yelling at Chris Tucker and he's like, I ain't no punk bitch.
Yeah. Which that might have been improvised. I heard that it was, but I don't know if it's true. But, yeah, like, that whole scene might have been toned down a bit, Yeah, I mean, I think that's mostly what it would have been. Is like the racial humor would have been toned down a bit. But I'm thinking about all the moments. And it's like when he first meets him and assumes he doesn't speak English, and he even says like, "This guy doesn't talk American." Like that is not a cool thing to say at all.
I think they probably would have scrapped the dialogue in the pool bar fight scene because Jackie Chan drops the old.
He drops the N-bomb.
But then proceeds to get attacked.
attacked.
So I guess, probably likely.
It was a comedic moment because he just thought he saw Chris Tucker's character, he saw Detective James Carter using it as a salutation for a few people, and then just thought that's how you say hi here.
And he is a foreign person in a new country.
Okay, but again, like that's the racial humor. So like I think there's like 3 moments that I can pinpoint. And then like even still like how like the FBI was like not taking the Chinese consulate very seriously, and there might have been like some racial reasons why. Like I feel like that would have stayed in 2020, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I feel like like we still would have shown stuff like that.
They just would have blended that to like not like where it's racial, but it's more just. These are the tensions between our state entities.
I think they still might have kept it racial. I mean, you still see like racial tension today. I mean, because it still does exist. We just don't allow people to punch down as much anymore, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? So like when someone from a different culture is making fun of their culture, like in a comedic way, like that's like cringy. You know what I mean? And it was cringy back then, but now we're more sensitive to it, and we don't do it as much. So like the fact that like there was racism in the movie, like FBI not taking Chinese consulate seriously, even though their daughter was just kidnapped, like I'm sure that would have survived. But like a detective assuming that a Chinese detective doesn't speak English, like we might not have, or like maybe that would have stayed, but we might not have like made jokes about it by like yelling or like saying you don't even speak American is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
So, and I get that those kind of sound similar, but overall though, I love the movie. I hated the fucking script. It was so hard to read. Oh my God.
It's wild. Look, I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, me too. What should we read next? What should we read next?
I mean, I kind of want to either do Wedding Crashers, maybe even Tropic Thunder.
Oh, Tropic Thunder would be good. I would like to read Groundhog's Day.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be good, actually.
Chia.
But I feel like early predictor that's probably very different than... I just have a feeling that the script's very different.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
I mean,
give us a script idea, people.
Yeah, if anybody has a script that they want us to read, we'll go ahead and
we'll read your script. Want to send us your script?
Oh yeah, we'll read other people's scripts. I'm down with that.
We'll critique your script.
Yeah.
On here, live.
How do you think we should end this? I think we're about time to end. What should we?
With a high five. A low five.
Is that the only thing? Yeah. Do you have any other ideas?
Should we touch tips?
How about, do you have an idea where we don't touch at all?
Oh, I'm out.
Should we like...
We could do that thing where we stare at each other in silence.
Maybe we just fade out. We could just fade out. All right, we're faded out now. So I guess we're just in the blackness. Yeah, I mean, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning into the Butts.
Hey, thanks for tuning into the Butts.
And this is season 2, scripted.
Bye.